the trip, I'd like to confirm a quote.
Getting around in 2 hours.
Will you comment personally how much money was involved? Was it over $1,000? Was it over $10,000?
And let the linebackers fire the gap.
Rossi, I didn't know you knew so much about football.
He does, and he's just well connected.
Okay, so I happen to know someone with the club.
One of the cheerleaders?
Hank Bujarski, offensive line coach, a friend of mine, lives in my building. Gave me some terrific inside stuff.
Oh, yeah? Like what quarterback and wide receiver aren't talking in the huddle?
L.A. is inverting from tackle to tackle and stunting on short yardage situations.
Really?
Does this stuff interest you guys?
Oh, Billy, it's just because you didn't play football when you were in high school.
Who says?
You know, you'd probably like it better if McKenna's in spring for color TV.
What's the matter? You knew there was a game tonight.
Oh, no, I didn't. I thought they just played on Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays.
Don't let him get outside. All right. Good way to stick him, huh?
The sound of that, doesn't that hurt?
Of course it does, but just for a second. Anyway, they're wearing a lot of equipment.
There he is, Clifford Crusher Carter, a third-year pro out of Coopsey University. And pound for pound, this guy is the most devastating hitter in professional football. I'd like to add, though I appreciate his superior athletic abilities, I have an equal disdain for his penchant for the occasional cheap shot.
And I disdain your disdain.
Come on, Harvey. That's enough of you. Let's get back to the game.
Let's tell him like it is.
Oh, let's have some defense.
This stadium is absolutely rocking.
Defense.
Chicago's out of the huddle. Gets first down. Marshall looks back up into the center.
Stop
He stops the ball. Marshall drops back. He picks up the ball to the setback. Davis. Davis is going to throw. He's got Templeton and Templeton's got the ball. Oh, is he hit?
All right. Way to go. Way to nail him.
By Clifford Carter.
Get him up. He's tilling the grass.
It's artificial turf.
And he's killing the artificial turf.
Well, listen, guys, as fun as this has been, I have to go home on my plans.
The team doctor is out there with Templeton already. He just
I'll miss you too.
Okay. And there it is again, ladies and gentlemen, the very thing we've been talking about, the devastating hitting of Clifford Crusher Carter of Los Angeles.
All right. That's it, Harvey. I've had enough of you.
Action. Here's a rundown of last Sunday's league action. In the East, it was Boston 35, New York 24. Baltimore scored over Washington 7.
Animal, I don't care about the bodybuilding championships. I want you at the dedication in Whittier. That's right. The mayor before muscles.
Did you read about the knifing in the movie theater last night?
No.
Sounds like the audience went a little nuts. There were fights, a bunch of people got hurt.
I've seen movies that made me feel that way. What was it?
The Devil's Club.
Never heard of it.
I asked Billy to check it out, see what it's about.
Sure is nice to be working for a class outfit.
You mean they finally put paper towels in the men's room?
I just got that assignment with Sportsview I told you about. I'm doing a feature on Crusher Carter.
Rossi writing sports? Not a little beneath you?
That's why they want me to do it. Won't be just a puff piece by some local sports writer protecting his job. I'll go at it like everything else.
Clear-eyed, hard-nosed.
Full head of steam?
And a full head of hair.
When you interview this guy, you better temper your usual style. Remember, the referees call him Mr. Carter.
An interview is an interview.
How'd our movie do? Who wrote the review?
It's by Melissa Cummings. She surprised me on this one.
Why?
Seems to be in English. I predict that Mark Campanella's The Devil's Club, a raw and uncompromising look at youth gangs, a film of shocking power and dazzling artistry, will evoke knee-jerk cries of alarm from those who blame the movies for every one of society's ills. But see it for yourself.
I get the impression she liked it.
You get the impression she starred in it.
For an attractive-looking woman, she seems to have strange taste.
Oh, that reminds me. The other day when I was talking to her, she said she wanted to meet you. She thinks you're cute.
That's what I mean.
Thought you might be interested. It's about the guy who got hit in the game last night.
Templeton?
Yeah. City News says he's in a coma. Possible brain damage.
Rossi's going to do an interview with Crusher Carter, the guy who did it.
Better tell him to wear a helmet.
Hi, I'm Clifford Carter. As a professional athlete, I know what it is to be on the road away from my family. That's why I like to spend as much time with my kids as I can, when I can. Go, Tucker. All right, all right. Let your kids know you care. Support the family, huh? Hey, boy, you, holding that football just like a girl. Somebody's gonna take it away from you. It's a fumble. Get it.
Hi, Cliff. I'm Joe Rossi. I'm here to talk to you about that article I'm doing for Sportsview.
Joe, how you doing?
Oh, fine.
Hey, look, man, I'm a little sorry about the mix-up. I forgot I had to do a public service promo.
Oh, that's okay. Is there any chance that we can squeeze in a few minutes before practice?
Yeah, I gotta get taped first. Hope you don't mind the smell of liniment and sweat socks.
Hey, I love it. I'm right at home in a locker room.
Okay, be with you in a minute.
So out of the corner of my eye, I see this guy streaking in like he's gonna blindside me. Well, I turn around, I belt him pretty good, see. And then I realize I've just decked a referee, or a two-legged zebra. Anyway, it's the last time I intentionally decked the official.
Was that Chuck Gibbs?
Yep, that was him. My man is not much into comedy. As a matter of fact, he's just barely in the speech, right, man?
That's right.
Large fella.
Extra large.
Matter of fact, he's so big that when we leave from the hotels to go to the stadium, we all climb aboard him.
Runs his own diesel for economy.
Boy, it amazes me that someone your size can play on the same field with a guy that big.
Well, fortunately, my man is not a running back or a receiver.
Yeah, well, some of them are even that big.
I'm getting out of the game before the next year's models come out.
What do you think of when a guy that size is heading for you?
Well, I figure I got two choices. Stay the hell out of the way or meet him head up.
And you prefer the latter.
Well, they don't pay me to step aside, Joe. I try to hit him a little harder than the next guy. Give him something to think about. I call it aggressive tackling.
I hate to ask this, but it's part of the story after what happened. What about Ron Templeton?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry that happened. But he was a fair and legal target. As tough as that's the breaks of the game. Anybody coming in my zone, man, they can expect to be hit by me.
What do you say to guys like Clarence Harvey, who claim that you're a cheap shot artist and that you intentionally go out of your way to hurt the opponent?
Yeah, I've heard a few guys. I mean to, but not permanently, of course. Whenever a receiver goes out for the pass, he has two things to think about. Catch the ball, sacrifice his tail. Or miss the ball and save his tail. If he thinks about me, he's gonna miss the pass. Gotta go to work later.
Hey, thanks. Hey, Mike, I need some background about how the other players think about that guy.
How do I view him? With a great deal of alarm. Don't print that, I was just kidding. He's a tough guy. He's also a damn good football player.
How do you feel about his style of play?
Different players motivate themselves different ways. He intimidates. A lot of players do. You just have to use what's best for you.
What about you? You've been All-Pro 6 years?
Like I said, different strokes for different folks. I'm a finesse player. I like to slash in and make a nice, pretty tackle. It's more important for me to be on top of the pile than it is underneath it.
That's good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hello,
you're Melissa Cummings.
and you are Lou Grant.
I've been meaning to say welcome to the trip to you, but since you've been here a year now, it seems a little bit late.
Thanks for the thought, anyway.
How you doing?
Oh, how would you be doing if you had to see Space Wars at 8 o'clock in the morning? Root beer and popcorn for breakfast.
Oh, I just read one of your reviews, a movie called The Devil's Club.
And you rushed right off and bought tickets and hated it. Sorry, no money-back guarantees on my reviews.
Well, actually, I decided to pass on it. You know, I can't picture a nice-looking girl like you going in for all that blood and guts stuff.
I like realism, Lou.
Yeah?
The Devil's Club is a vivid portrayal of another way of life, but it's something that does exist.
Uh-huh. There was a riot after the show Monday night. Somebody got knifed. I think the type of people who go to pictures like that are looking for action.
Oh, come on, Lou. Movies don't create violence. They reflect it.
Oh, I see. Films don't kill people. People kill people.
You know, this argument would have a lot more weight to it if both of us had seen the movie.
Okay, you got a point.
I have passes to a preview tomorrow night. We could argue about it after you buy me dinner.
Hey, Phil. How's it going?
Hello, Clifford. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Hey, nice game the other night. You guys really swarmed them.
Yeah, right on. Thank you, man. Hey, look, this is Joe Rossi.
Please, you don't have to tell me who he is. Don't introduce me. This is Phil Eslewski. Listen, I gotta tell you, you've been a personal favorite of mine for many years. I think, in my opinion, you're the quickest linebacker of them all.
Oh, hey, thanks, Joe. Hey, listen to this man. He knows his football.
Hey, can I buy another drink?
No, it's okay. I gotta shove off. Hey, take it easy now, okay? We'll see ya. Right.
Wow. I had no idea he was in that bad a shape.
Knees, occupational hazard. Hey, who's that pretty fella? Hey, Benny, turn it up. We can't hear it.
Ronnie Templeton, a gifted young athlete, paid a huge price to play the game that he loved. And today, an attorney went into court, filed a $3.5 million lawsuit in behalf of the Templeton family against Clifford Carter, the football club, and the officials who worked that ball game. And to this not-so-casual observer, it was indeed an act without a modicum of regard for a fellow football player's safety. And in this reporter's opinion, there is no place in the great game of football for the likes of Clifford Carter.
What does he know? What the hell does he know?
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
What is it?
The Ron Templeton thing.
Yeah?
It's a story.
It's a sports story. Let them run with it.
Well, I don't like the way they're running with it. They're ganging up on a lady whose husband is lying in a coma.
Templeton's wife, why are they picking on her?
Very outspoken in her criticism. They're treating her like she burned the flag or something.
If we put it in our section, it'll make too much of it.
Stop ducking it, Lou. If we leave it to sports, they'll make too little of it. I want you to put somebody on it, somebody sharp.
Why me? It's a sports story, Lou. Let them do it.
We're doing it.
But it's football. What do I know about football?
Stop ducking this, Billy. You date a baseball player. That's close enough.
Don't worry, you'll do fine.
Yeah.
Look, if there's anything you don't understand, just ask. I mean, I know the game can look complicated to an outsider.
Outsider.
Yes, not because you're a woman. I just happen to be closer to the game than a lot of people, male or female.
Thanks, Rossi. I'll keep it in mind.
Look, it's a very sophisticated game. You have to be pretty sharp to follow the strategy, but just don't underestimate football.
I see it as a story about a guy who gets hurt on the job, not just a story about football.
That's what I was afraid of. Look, just remain objective.
Rossi, trust me, okay?
It's just that I've been doing this piece on Crusher Carter for Sports View, and I've been spending a lot of time with him and the other players. And Crusher and I, well, we really hit it off. We respect each other because we both approach our jobs the same way. Aggressive, honest, and direct. And I'll tell you something else. For a guy who's good-looking, talented, and terrific athlete, he's pretty well down to earth.
I'm glad you can be so objective.
Dr. Stockley. Dr. Stockley.
Dr. Daggett, how is he? Is Templeton still in a coma?
Yes, he is.
When do you expect a change in his condition?
Well, we don't know, but we're hoping real soon.
What is his condition?
Guarded.
What does that mean? Is he responding to treatment?
I'm sorry, but I have no further comment at this time. However, there will be an announcement in half an hour. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Attention, please. Code 1.
Do you mind if I share your table?
No. Have a seat.
Thank you.
Last time I looked up, there were only 3 people in here.
Must have been here a long time.
All night.
Relative?
What about you?
Actually, I'm a reporter. I'm here to check up on the condition of a patient. I can't believe what a hassle it's been, all because of a football player.
I know what you mean. That football player is my husband.
Oh, no. You're Mrs. Templeton. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I'm Jackie.
Billy Newman. The doctor says that your husband's condition hasn't changed. Is that right?
I've just been sitting here praying that Ronnie will come out of it.
Have you been worried that something like this would happen?
You try not to, but it's always there. Ronnie says, the moment you start to worry, that's when it'll happen.
Has Ronnie been hurt before?
I can't even count. He's always in pain. Either his legs hurt or his back. Sometimes his muscles just go into spasm. He never sleeps well the night of a game.
The pressure?
Right. And you never know when he's going to be cut or traded. We have moved 3 times in the last 5 years. As a matter of fact, both of our daughters were born when Ronnie was in training camp.
They wouldn't let him out when his own children were born?
Ronnie didn't ask to be let off. It was before a final cut, and he was afraid that he would lose his job if he came home. I just talked to my daughter. She wants to know how long her father's going to be asleep.
You're having a very tough time. All this, plus all the flack from the football establishment over your lawsuit.
The owner of our own team called me and asked me to drop the suit. Those owners, they always stick together. Even some of Ronnie's teammates. Well, I don't care. The man that did this to my husband is a criminal, and everybody's letting him get away with it. Well, not me.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
I should get a refund. Half the time I was watching the movie with my eyes shut.
It's the depiction of a lifestyle you're unfamiliar with that makes you feel uncomfortable.
I'm familiar with it. I just don't want to pay to see it. To me, it isn't entertainment. I don't think it's really going to entertain them either.
Most of them will find it a catharsis. They'll feel better afterwards. They'll get their aggressions out.
I guess his catharsis got a little out of hand.
Violence isn't something that dramatists and filmmakers invented. It's part of us. It's a condition of life.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Thanks. We live in a violent world.
That's true. But I don't see anything in that film which suggests any answers to it.
Films don't have to suggest answers. I think that it would be pretentious of them if they tried.
That's a cop-out. If anything, that junk encourages violence, makes it seem romantic and okay.
This director is an artist.
Artist? He's in love with technique. I mean, those slow-motion shootings, the blood spurting across the room. Nobody dies gracefully in real life. I've seen people killed, Melissa. There's nothing artistic about it.
Well, we've covered violence. How do you feel about sex?
Huh?
In the movies, Lou. In the movies.
Excuse me. One of the advantages of being on the staff of a university medical center is having access to the athletic department.
I've been reading some of your recent articles deploring the escalating rate of injury in sports. I gather if it weren't for the advancements in sports medicine, it could be a lot worse.
That's correct. 40% of all injuries are caused by equipment.
Try that again?
That's right. Shoes, shoulder pads, and most dangerous of all, helmets.
Gee, that's heavy. It feels like a bowling ball.
You should feel it when the fourth quarter comes around.
Well, like my basketball coach used to say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Yeah, my coach said that too. It's motivational, but in reality, physiological nonsense.
I thought so too. That's why I quit the game.
You see, fatigue invites carelessness and poor body mechanics. And it's in the last moments of any event that injuries are most likely to occur. Hard, isn't it?
I'll say.
I've seen quarterbacks throw a pass and break their fingers hitting one of those things. 29% of football's most serious injuries, that's brain and spinal cord damage, broken ribs, ruptured spleens, bruised kidneys, all came as a direct result of contact with the helmet. Let's face it, today's helmet is a lethal weapon.
Aren't there rules to protect the player from getting hit with a helmet?
Yeah, it's called spearing, but the rule is only occasionally enforced.
The officials, are they at fault?
Referees can't see everything. Miss Newman, I believe if the game is going to survive, coaches must stop teaching helmet-first blocking and tackling. Now, in 1979 alone, over 40,000 interscholastic high school and college football players were treated for injuries involving the head and neck.
They gotta start using a different kind of helmet.
You know, coal mining was once thought to be the most dangerous occupation in the United States. The new leader is professional football.
Boy, what an assignment.
What?
First, I was at the hospital checking in on the latest developments with Templeton, and then I found myself talking to his wife at the cafeteria.
Well, that's good.
Oh, yeah, it's good for the story, but it really bummed me out. And then Animal and I got the rundown on how all the players are getting injured because of the new football equipment.
What'd you do that for? I just put you on the Templeton case.
Part of the same story. We were talking to the team doctor, and it's a story about violence in football.
No, it isn't. It's a story about a special incident.
Well, how can I look at one incident without getting the background?
You don't need background. I've been watching this game all my life. It's a freak case.
Let's talk about that for a second.
I don't want to talk about it.
St. Louis' offense will be too much for L.A. Jackson will pick that papier-mâché secondary clean with his passing.
Papier-mâché?
Yeah.
L.A. has the best deep coverage in the league. Jackson and his backfield will think they're playing in wet cement.
I'm telling you, their receivers just can't be stopped. They have speed, they have hands, they have excellent moves.
That's because they've never run into a meat grinder. After a few shots from Carter and company, St. Louis will still be running, but it'll be for cover.
Want to put some money on it?
Oh, save your money, Charlie. Spend it wisely.
Dinner at McKenna's.
Hey, this is a big game. Let's have a big bet.
Okay, dinner anywhere but McKenna's.
You got it. Yes.
Billy, I read your opening story on Templeton.
Yeah?
Frankly, I'm a little disappointed.
And why is that?
I don't think you know what these guys are really made of. I'm getting to know Crusher, and he seems like a real good guy.
Ronnie Templeton's wife doesn't feel that way. The guy's vicious.
Yeah, but from what you said in your piece, a person get the impression these guys are being trained to kill. Now, that's ridiculous.
There's an update from the hospital on the Ron Templeton story. Came out of his coma. He's permanently paralyzed from the neck down.
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
Green 16! Green 16! Blue stick! Blue stick!
My mother never wanted me to play football. So
They wanted me to be in the band just like my brother, but they couldn't afford to buy an instrument, so I wound up playing football anyway. I was a junior in high school before she came to her first game.
Yeah?
Grab the ball.
I'll never forget that night. I scored 4 touchdowns.
That must have made her proud.
Yeah, sure. I was a junior in college before she came to another one. Bring back lots of memories.
I bet it does. Any images come to mind?
Yeah, plenty of them. Like standing there on the sideline with my helmet under my arm, listening to the Star Spangled Banner, praying the kickoff wouldn't come to me.
All right, come on, you guys, let's go.
We'll see you, man. Hey.
Coach. Hey, man. Look over there. It looks like Crusher Carter.
Where?
Over there with that little guy.
Hey, let's
come on, you guys.
go. Hey, Crusher, what's happening?
Hey, guys. Hey, how you guys doing, huh?
All right. Too many wind spreads.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You guys must be out of shape.
No sweat, I'm in shape.
What's your name?
Spike. Spike made All-State last year.
He also broke your high school interception record. Most tackles, too.
What? That's right.
You that good, huh?
That's right.
You must be a good hitter.
Just like you.
You know, I hear a lot about that. Exactly what do you consider a good hit?
Well, that's when a guy wakes up on the sideline wondering who he is and what planet he's on, right?
That's right.
This is Joe Rossi. He's a writer for the Trib.
How you doing, Joe?
How you doing?
How many of you guys plan on going to college?
We all do.
going to college.
Hey, man, how you gonna go to college? You can't even remember a snap count.
Hey, hold up, guys. Remember, rule number 1, hit the books. Of course, I never did a lot, but then I don't figure you cats as smart as I am.
Crusher, how about a few pointers?
Well, I don't know if you babes are ready for that.
Oh, yeah, we're ready.
All right. Okay, I'll go one better than that. I'll show you. Put your helmet on, huh?
All right.
Come on over here. Okay, now you defensive people, you listen up. Now I'm gonna show you how to give that fullback something to think about that's been running over you. When you're ready to make a tackle, you stick your helmet right in the numbers. Lock your arms around him, jerk your head right up, clip him one right on the chin. Got it? All
Is that legal?
Well, they call it sometime. Now look, you put that in your pocket. I'm gonna show you something else now. Get down in a 3-point stance. I'm a defensive, right? Height. What'd you say your name was?
Huh?
That's called a head slap. Right now, my man is listening to doorbells. He'll be over in about 30 seconds, which is enough time for him to miss an audible. The coach will take him out, put in a second stringer, all to our advantage.
What was that again?
Hey, how about something for the offense, Crusher?
Yeah, I got something for the offense. If you got the ball, don't forget to put your head down, close your eyes, hang onto your teeth when you see the pressure coming at you.
Crusher, we gotta talk. There's a lot to cover.
Okay, later, man, but I'm sure my boys see some of the finer points of the game.
All right.
Now, here's something for that hotshot receiver that's been giving you a lot of trouble. You can lay a good hammer tackle on him, but a couple years ago it was made illegal. So here's how they're doing it now. Instead of taking your arm all the way back when you're ready to make a tackle like that, what you do is come over the backside, like that. Same hit, same hurt, same result. Just give him a little something to think about. Got it? Go do it.
Doing a lot better. Here, have a little juice. Good, that's right. I'll be right back, okay? This is going to be even harder than I thought. I was feeding him lunch, and he said, I bet you'll be glad when you don't have to do this anymore.
Doesn't he know the damage is permanent?
They told him, but he just won't accept it.
Have you had a chance to discuss the lawsuit with him yet?
Yes. Would you believe it? He wants me to drop the suit. He said that he knew what he was doing. He knew what the risks were.
It's the player's code.
Yeah, I just can't fight this without him. He just doesn't realize what the bills are going to be for the rest of our lives.
I find Melissa attractive, but...
I know. She's young.
No, it's not that. It's just that she sees things in a peculiar way.
So what?
You're hard to talk to about women.
Oh, yeah? Well, check out the gams on this doll coming our way.
I can't believe this is Bijan. Come join us.
We don't want to interrupt your conversation.
I want you to.
Martin, meet Charles Hume, Lou Grant.
Oh, hey. Hi.
Mr. Martin Opa.
Sit down. I always find it uncomfortable when I try to stand in a booth.
Well, what's the owner of our football club and the owner of our paper doing together?
We just left an Olympic Committee meeting. And Martin saw McKenna's and was curious to see just how much it had changed since he was last here.
Well, I thought this place was torn down years ago.
It was. They just never told us.
Oh, I'll have a glass of red wine.
Scotch. I was telling Margaret your coverage of the Templeton thing was pretty balanced. Although I think you've come down a little hard on organized football.
Now, Martin, I happened to watch a game the other night. I must say it was awfully brutal. It certainly wasn't the game I loved watching in my college days.
It probably has changed a lot. The players are bigger, faster, stronger.
But don't you think if it were less violent, people would enjoy it just as much?
Margaret, we've sold out every game this season. So whatever's happening out there on the field, people seem to be enjoying it.
How do you feel about the Templeton lawsuit?
Lawsuits have no place in football. Now, you have to remember, our players are professionals. They understand the risks involved, and they are paid, well paid, to take those risks.
Sounds as though he were talking about gladiators. Oh, isn't there something you can do to reduce the injury problem?
Well, of course. The last thing the owners want is to have a player injured. And we make rule changes. For example, we've added the grasp and control rule, protects the quarterback.
A lot of them still get hurt.
Well, of course. There are risks. There's an enormous amount of body contact. It's rough. But you got to admit one thing. There's nothing like it for excitement. Huh? No, I'm afraid if we make too many rule changes, it'll destroy the game.
It won't. Not if the game is worth saving.
Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. Your wife said it was okay. I can come back later.
No, that's all right. It won't be any better later.
Boy, that was some game you played yesterday.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it was a real dogfight, man. What was the final score?
24-20. You won.
Well, we played lousy the first half. But this team's got a lot of character, you know? We knew we'd pull it out.
Is it always this hard the day after?
Lately, you know, when I was in college, I was a real kamikaze. I used to just roll over and fall out of bed just to get it all over with at once. But lately, it's one limb at a time.
How does it feel?
Have you ever been run over by a bunch of horses pulling a beer wagon?
No, I can't say that I have.
Well, if you'd had, you'd know.
Boy, Crusher sure was fired up yesterday.
Well, I'll say. You know, as a matter of fact, oh, man. The hardest I was hit all day was by him. I was tackling Carmichael, and he came up to support. Man, he hit. Oh, somebody stuck a helmet in my ribs, and it feels like it's still there. Oh.
Mike, how come you play football? I mean, you have your degree, your own business. There are easier ways to make a living.
I love football. I believe in those cliches about sports. I believe football builds character. I believe it allows you to channel your aggressions in a controlled and specific way. But the game is changing.
How do you mean?
Well, in the old days, you blocked with your shoulders. And you didn't put your head in places they do now. The key word used to be skill, but that word has been replaced by other words like intimidation and punishment.
I got the feeling that's the big attraction for the fans.
Oh, you're right. They really get off on it. Did you know Crusher got a box full of fan mail the other day from people congratulating him on what he did at Templeton? Can you figure that?
Lou Grant will continue in a moment here on A&E.
Morning, Lou. Charlie.
How are you, Melissa?
Can't believe this.
What's that?
Some citizens group has gotten an injunction to prevent the L.A. showing of a film that won a silver wreath
at the Vienna Film Festival.
How come?
Oh, they're afraid it will stir up gang violence in the community. I mean, it's absurd.
What's the picture?
It's called Carlos and Wendy.
That sounds innocent enough, unless Carlos and Wendy shoot it out.
It's graphic, but it's not the point. Thanks. The point is that the film is a minor masterpiece, and some bureaucrats are going to stop people from seeing it.
Not me.
What do you mean?
It's on my movie channel all this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the judge figures gangs don't subscribe to cable.
If you want to see it, I can have some people over. Marion's away, I'll make some of my chili.
This doesn't get you out of buying me dinner when I win that bet.
Yeah. How about it, Melissa?
Sounds good to me. Tonight?
No good. Night's football.
How about Wednesday?
Good. Lou?
Sure.
I'll see you then.
I don't know what to make of this. I guess it's good news.
What?
Police beat said that there were no murders reported in Los Angeles yesterday for the first time this year. I mean, what kind of a city is this? When nobody kills anybody, that's news. You want to run it?
No. I don't want to challenge anybody to keep the numbers up. Sort of like saying, come on, folks, you're just not trying hard enough.
Too bad. I had the headline. Death takes a holiday.
Oh, wonderful movie. Frederick March, Evelyn Venable, 1934.
That's third down and 9 yards to go. Nothing was going right today.
I don't know why you're so excited, Lou. I'm very calm.
It's easy to be calm when you're 9 points ahead.
He's looking, he wants to throw, he throws down the middle.
Intercepted. I told him not to throw.
Where are we eating tonight, Lou? I'm thinking fettuccine.
It's not over yet.
I thought Russie'd be here.
No, he's at the game. If I know him, he's probably on the bench.
I know him. He's probably in the huddle.
Now we'll get the ball back.
I know a nice Italian place.
Stevens! Just hang on to it. Only 30 seconds till a half. Don't let him burn you with a long bomb, that's all. Boy. Good house. Green.
He's been taking lessons from Crusher.
Came around this man and he really
We're
leveled
bringing
him.
out the stretcher.
Brompton is still on his back. Boy, did he take a shot. Hauser, with nobody blocking him, really creamed him. And Hauser, by the way, is very, very concerned. But, ladies and gentlemen, there's no need for second thoughts here because this was a good, clean hit.
They had to win last night. Now, if Atlanta loses on Sunday, we could end up in a three-way tie for first.
Really touch and go there for a while. I like the way they came back.
Yeah.
Brompton's out for the season, you know.
Oh, no. Really? Gee, that's too bad.
Talking to Miss Pinchon. She's not happy with the way sports handled that little incident.
Well, what's the matter?
Well, she thinks they sugarcoated an act of mayhem.
This wasn't a Templeton case. It was a clean shot.
You know something else she pointed out, and I think she's right? Violence starts the minute you turn on the set. Those beginning shots of the game with all those bodies colliding, pow, 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 it's all heavy hitting. They don't give play to the beautiful runner who makes the great moves.
They're giving people what they want.
I don't care what TV does. I still appreciate a good pass or a good catch.
The media can be faulted on this, including us. I mean, we tend to do what TV does.
I thought we did a pretty good job with Ron Templeton.
Crusher Carter did a pretty good job with Ron Templeton, too. There's a guy whose life will never be the same because another guy decided he was going to play football in a certain way. I haven't seen anyone in the media, including us, really look this problem of violence in sports squarely in the face.
Making too much of that.
Well, this includes you, too, Lou. You act like you're afraid they'll take the game away from you if you admit it has some flaws. Anyway, let's get started.
Rossi. What's this all about?
I don't know. Hauser called the trip, said he was having a press conference. I figured we should be here.
Would you all take a seat, please? Thank you for coming. You know, I've been playing professional football now for 9 years, and I never thought I'd give up my career for any other. But maybe the excitement of a game keeps you from realizing what's happening. I put a man in the hospital yesterday, and according to the rules, what I did was fair. But my wife and I have been doing a lot of talking, and I'm calling it quits, guys.
Isn't your quitting a little extreme, Mike?
All I know is how sick I feel inside about what happened. I don't want to be a martyr. But if my quitting will help people re-examine the game and make it safer for others to play, then what I'm doing is worth it.
Mike?
Yes, Bob.
You've had salary disputes with the club this year. Is this your way of getting more money?
Obviously, this gentleman hasn't been listening.
Look what we have here. Hey, Wendy, what's the matter? None of us guys are any good, huh? You gotta pick this stupid greaser, huh?
They've been through so much, why don't they leave them alone?
After the blowout, they would have made it.
Now what are you up to? I don't want to see. I've had enough.
I want to see what happens.
Notice how instead of dissolving here, he makes a cut right...
Oh, terrific. I was going to comment on that myself.
I hated it.
Wait a minute. He had you sitting on the edge of your seat. You wanted to see Wendy get her revenge.
Yeah, I did. But at the same time, I knew I was being manipulated.
Sure. There's this nice young couple just married, and some hoodlums come along, and they beat him up, then they rape the girl. Naturally, you're just going to be screaming for justice.
You make that sound easy. That manipulation is a craft, and he's a master at it. We're all of us sitting on top of fear and rage and hate and vengeance, and he knows exactly how to get to that visceral response.
I always judge a picture by how I feel afterwards. Yeah, I was caught up in it, but now I feel disappointed, you know what I mean? Let down, a little empty.
It's precisely how he wants you to feel.
There wasn't one new idea in this picture.
Fredericks isn't interested in ideas. He's interested in feelings. He made us feel.
Yeah, rotten.
Hey, Crusher, hold up a minute. I've just got a couple of more questions and I can tie up the story.
Not now.
Oh, just take a couple of minutes.
I said no, man, so just back off.
Hey, what's bugging you?
I'll tell you what. I got a lawsuit hanging over my head. The commissioner's threatening a fine, and the front office is talking trade. That's what's bugging me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, this all comes from the media putting me down. Talking about me taking cheap shots. You're the one taking cheap shots. Blowing everything out of proportion. Now everybody's piling on.
Come on, Cliff, that's ridiculous. I'm just trying to finish up a story.
Forget the story. Dump it. You're not doing any story on me.
What do you mean?
I'm cutting you off. That's what I mean. The story is dead.
The hell it is. Nobody tells me what I can write.
I'm telling you, the story is through.
I'm going to see your story on the Crusher in Sports View.
You're not. They shot it down.
How come?
Well, I didn't do what they were expecting. They wanted a piece about the tiger on the field who's a pussycat off, and it just didn't jibe with what I found out.
So those guys aren't against printing negative articles about players?
Yeah, but they wanted their kind of negative article. At least when I do something here, I know it'll be printed the way I see it.
Oh, yeah, that's why I came over. Your piece on bus transit. You missed the lead. Arming the drivers, that's your story. Do it over.
They murder at random for the sport of the kill. From Jack the Ripper to Jeffrey Dahmer, we'll go inside the twisted minds of history's serial killers tonight on American Justice. Now, a new female officer tries to play her cards right. Angie Dickinson targets an illegal gambling ring on Police Story. Next on A&E.